These women have no anchor beyond their appearance, no spiritual foundation, no belief that they're more than what they see in the mirror. So they become slaves to their reflection, to the surgeon, to the needle, to anything that promises to delay the inevitable.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and today we are taking a look at women going to insane lengths to hide their aging. Don't forget to drop a comment and let's jump right into it.
Look at this face. Texture, dignity. Now look at this one. Smooth, tight. But does it look good? Or does it look scary? Somewhere along the line, Hollywood decided aging was a disease. But the cure looks worse than the sickness.
In order for the feminist narrative to take hold, modern women need to think they're going to be young and beautiful forever. That's why there's this bonkers idea that 30 is the new 20 for modern women, even though nothing could be further from the truth.
Women are destroying their faces in the name of beauty. But why? The answer isn't vanity or psychology, because it goes much deeper. When you connect the dots, a clear picture emerges that goes beyond the physical. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. First, you need to understand how we got here, because what's really happening won't make sense until you see the machinery that created it. Rewind to 1949. Marilyn Monroe gets a tiny chin implant. That was Hollywood cosmetic surgery for decades, subtle tweaks kept carefully secret. By the 1970s, Betty White gets a discreet eyelid lift at 45.
Even if it is seen as discreet, it still sounds rather extreme for a woman to undergo cosmetic surgery. Considering all the things that can go wrong with a surgery, the women who go that route take an awful lot of risk for virtually no reward.
She doesn't tell anyone for 30 years, because back then, there was still shame attached. Stars like Katharine Hepburn wore their years openly and remained icons because of it. But then, everything changed. April 2002, the FDA approves Botox for cosmetic use. Suddenly, freezing your face wasn't surgery, it was maintenance. An injection during lunch, no judgment. And once that door opened, it never closed. In 2003, dermal fillers hit the market. Plump your lips, sculpt your cheeks, fill every hollow that time had carved.
The idea that modern women consider injecting toxins directly into their face somehow maintenance is absolutely insane. There's nothing routine about that at all.
And unlike Botox, these changes stacked. Layer after layer, visit after visit. By the 2010s, the procedures weren't just accessible, they were expected. HD cameras exposed every pore. Instagram filters set impossible standards. Plastic surgeons started whispering, preventative work. Why wait until 60 for a facelift when you could start maintaining at 35? Women in their late 20s now get the procedures their mothers got at 60, not to look younger, but to never look older in the first place.
You can't prevent aging, it's literally impossible, and the sad part is how we have countless examples of how these so-called preventative procedures just make women look way worse in the long run. They prevent nothing at all.
But the thing is, these procedures compound. One injection leads to another, because once you start, your baseline shifts. What used to look normal now looks tired. So you go back, again and again. And somewhere in that cycle, you stop looking like yourself. You look expensive, maintained, optimized, but not human. You start to look like an alien. Faces push so far beyond natural proportions that they trigger visceral discomfort.
It's rather ironic that the women who do this think they look optimized, even though there's nothing optimal about a woman's face that looks unnatural to the point of unsettling. These women do not look natural at all. They actually look a bit creepy.
The overstuffed pillow face, the cat eye brow lift, the Russian lip technique. Jamie Lee Curtis puts it plainly. We've wiped out a generation of natural human faces, she says. Women are disfiguring themselves, chasing an ideal that doesn't even exist in nature. Only on screens, only in filters. Look at any red carpet today. Actresses of all ages all have the same face. Same smooth forehead, same taut jawline, same plumped cheeks, same vacant expression. Different women, identical masks. But why? Why would brilliant, successful, powerful women do this to themselves?
They look soulless, let's be real. Their faces are unnatural, their eyes are lifeless, and all of their emotions come on pre-prepared statements. And these are the same women who go out there and manipulate other women to look and act just like them.
There's one more thing you have to know about the minds of these individuals before I explain what's happening at the deepest level. Most of them don't see what we see. They're psychologically damaged. Body dysmorphic disorder affects the majority. These women look in the mirror and see flaws that don't exist. Every wrinkle is magnified. Every sag feels catastrophic. So they fix it. And for a moment, they feel better. But then the relief fades. The mirror becomes the enemy again, and they need another fix. It's addiction, not just a surgery.
This is made insanely worse when you consider that a lot of women spend the majority of their time in front of their phone cameras, recording themselves, editing, and when you combine that with a modern woman's obsession with themselves, it really does make sense as to why they are this way.
To relief from the terror of being seen as old. And they're surrounded by people who enable it. Friends who've had the same work done. Agents who book younger actresses. Surgeons who profit from every visit. In that bubble, the scary look becomes normal. So when they see their own transformation, they don't see a problem. They see themselves keeping up. Actress Courtney Cox admitted she didn't realize how strange she looked until years later. "I didn't see it," she said.
It's crazy how people have this ability to just ignore what's right in front of them, so it's no surprise that she didn't realize how unnatural she looks, but that rude awakening can't change the damage that's been done to her.
But most don't stop. Because stopping means falling behind. And in Hollywood, falling behind means disappearing. Aging often means career death. Roles dry up after 40. And for some, the surface fear of disappearing can be the spark that drives them to extremes. To alienized faces, to vacant stares and looking like everybody, but nobody at the same time. But even that doesn't explain the true depths of what's happening.
The sad part is how these actors and actresses will completely alter their faces and destroy themselves to have roles in movies that are usually hated by the audience, which just further destroys their credibility, and then they fade into obscurity anyway.
Because this is about something much darker. Here's where all the pieces of the puzzle come together. Because this isn't really about aging. It's about mortality, and a spiritual war waging beneath the surface. When you've spent your entire life believing that this body, this face, this material world is all there is, aging becomes the countdown to your annihilation. If you don't believe in anything beyond the physical, then what are you? No soul, no deeper purpose, you're just flesh, and flesh decays.
We are seeing this with modern influencers who cake on endless amounts of makeup while desperately trying to get likes and clicks. A lot of these women waste their youth, and then they desperately try to look younger at all costs.
Every wrinkle is a death sentence. Every gray hair is evidence that you're running out of time. And if this life is all you have, if your body is all you are, then watching it age is watching yourself disappear. That's the real horror driving these women to mutilate themselves. They've lost touch with anything deeper. They're trapped in materialism, worshiping the vessel while the contents rot away. And Hollywood is the temple of that worship. These women have no anchor beyond their appearance, no spiritual foundation, no belief that they're more than what they see in the mirror.
They have to follow the cult, they have to mutilate their faces, say some of the most embarrassing things imaginable, and expose every single aspect of their lives for cameras. It's either that or get kicked out and have their lives destroyed. All it costs them is their souls, of course.
So they become slaves to their reflection, to the surgeon, to the needle, to anything that promises to delay the inevitable. Did you know studies show that Botox doesn't just paralyze your face, it paralyzes your ability to feel and express emotion. When you freeze your face, you're severing the connection between your inner self and outer expression. You're killing the signal that your soul sends to the world. The lights are on, but nobody's home. Not metaphorically, literally.
The emotionless expressions that a lot of these women have is downright creepy. There's no life in those faces, just emptiness and bitterness. No wonder so many modern influencers are so angry at the world.
Look at their eyes, the before photos. There's warmth, presence, life. And after, vacancy, a shell, a beautiful corpse that hasn't stopped walking yet. This is what happens when materialism becomes your religion. When you worship youth, beauty, and the physical, you'll sacrifice anything to keep it. Your authenticity, your humanity, and your soul.
Combine that with an addiction to social media analytics, you have multiple generations of everyday women who will do almost anything to get famous on social media. The camera has replaced reality, and it's driving a lot of these people crazy.
And the tragedy is that now they wear their desperation on their faces. The alienized look, the frozen expressions, the vacant stares. These aren't just bad cosmetic work. They're the mark of spiritual bankruptcy. They've sold themselves to materialism. And their faces, those hollow, identical, lifeless faces, are the receipt. They look like everyone and no one. Prototypes. Worshippers at the altar of flesh, all bearing the same mark. But here's the thing they don't understand. The wrinkles they're so terrified of, they're not signs of death, they're signs of life. Proof that you've laughed, cried, loved, and lived. But if you can't see beyond the flesh, then those lines become unbearable reminders that your time is running out. And that terror consumes everything. This is the spiritual war we're watching. Not fought with weapons, but with needles, scalpels, and fillers. A desperate, doomed battle against nature, against time, against mortality itself. And they're losing, one frozen face at a time.
You can't fight nature, it's impossible, but there are those who are obsessed with their looks and will never think that way. They see every injection as an extension of their youth, and they will do anything for more sand to the hourglass, even if that's not actually possible.
But this isn't inevitable. You don't have to worship at that altar. Pamela Anderson, the poster girl for 90s perfection, walked away from it all. No Botox, no fillers, and most days, not even makeup. Chasing youth is futile, she said. You're never going to get there. So why not just embrace what's going on? She found something those other women haven't. Peace. Not with looking young, but with being more than just her body. Jamie Lee Curtis, Helen Mirren, Andie MacDowell, all examples of women rejecting the religion of materialism. And you know what happens then? The spark comes back. The warmth. The presence. Because when you stop worshiping the vessel, the contents can finally shine through. Audrey Hepburn said it best. Happy girls are the prettiest girls. Not perfect, not ageless, not frozen, just happy.
The problem is there is a lot of negativity and hate that comes from a lot of modern women. It's hard to imagine if a woman like that will ever be happy. There's a lot of damage going on to a lot of people nowadays. Make sure you click on one of the videos on screen now to watch more if you liked today's video. Don't forget to take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.